how Pro Gamer successfully fakes his death for videos. Fakes his death for the dumbest reason. I'm interested. I'm interested, chat. I'm interested. Sit back, relax, enjoy some snacks. Get some snacks and enjoy them. And a drink. Let's watch.
On the 5th of July 2011, this account will be registered to the YouTube platform going by the name of Sketchek. The owner of this fresh new channel would go on to become a Team Fortress 2 professional, widely considered to be one of the best players in the game's 15-year history. So when he would sadly die unexpectedly only 4 years later in 2015, his audience and the entire Team Fortress 2 community were understandably devastated. Extensive tribute videos were posted to YouTube dedicated to Sketchek's incredible skill level. Users on Reddit would pour their hearts out in threads that discussed how Sketchek had influenced their playstyle, all while the developers of Team Fortress 2 would add a weapon attribute to the game in memory of Sketchek's life.
It's so crazy how, like, you know, they do these things so nice to this person because he was like a good community. He was a good community to this this game stuff, Team Fortress 2. And then when, like, you know, when somebody's good at this game and they died, I mean, like, it really truly heartbroken. And the developer, you gotta know that the developer just like put something special. I want to see their reaction of what they know. Like it's fake. Like it's fake. Like he didn't fake his death. I mean, he did fake his death. Also, by the way, let me turn my lamp. Let me turn my lamp real quick. Can I? Whoops. Let me there we go. Yeah, let me do this real quick. Alright, continue.
To say no one expected that this whole thing might have been a hoax after it all began in June 2015 when Sketchek uploaded a video explaining that he had been going in and out of hospital whilst dealing with an unspecified long-term illness.
Hey, I'm the guy that runs this channel. Most of you probably know me as Sketchek. I'm going to try being as straightforward and honest as I can. I've been very sick and very busy for the past few months, spending every day either bedridden or going in and out of the hospital with no time to play TF2 or make videos or anything like that. I don't want to reveal too much information about my illness, but the doctors are saying that I probably don't have a lot of time left. At best, I've got about a year before my condition gets so bad that I'll need constant life support, and my chances of recovery are looking low, to say the least. In light of my newfound understanding of the importance of time, I'm quitting video games and leaving YouTube.
Prior to uploading this video,
yeah, hold on.
Sketchek had racked up 12,000 subscribers on his channel. And while
wait, was this public announcement? Oh wait, is this the part when he because I was about to say, if he released that video like 5 years later after like people saying that he died or stuff, because like I was thinking, like, since like pretend like you're really sick, right? And the people and they're crazy like on the internet saying like, oh my god, this person died. I would have announced saying, hey, I'm not died, I didn't die, I'm really sick or something. But we can all tell that this guy got exposed. He's probably not sick or something. But anyways, that's just my opinion. It's my opinion. You guys have different opinions. Check.
This didn't make him the biggest YouTuber on the platform. As mentioned previously, he was extremely well known within the Team Fortress 2 niche, specifically as a professional pyro player with over 8,000 hours of playtime across a 6-year period. Wow. In comments, he was referenced as God of all pyros, the best pyro in the world, and the only pyro main I could respect, which is why no one suspected anything in the beginning. He was respected, his channel was growing, and why would he want to quit the game out of the blue if he was one of the best in the world? Under the assumption that this life-threatening illness was real, the video would be shared to Reddit, receiving over 1,400 upvotes on a post titled Sketchek is leaving YouTube from what is most probably a terminal illness, which was met with a high level of support from the community at large. Terminal illness is extremely saddening. I don't know how people deal with it. I mean, man, I wish Sketchek all the best. There's really a slim chance, but I really hope Sketchek can somehow recover. I think I cried a little. This is really sad news. I loved how creative he was in the game. Love you, Sketchek. Thank you for your videos. Others went even further by inquiring about a potential charity that they could donate to in order to support him financially.
It's just to think that it's just to think like they're doing this so nice to this guy. Just you gotta think that you got so many supporters for this guy, and like they're willing to do a fundraiser or like a donation to this guy, and like I'm just still waiting for the news to say like what will happen, like what will the reaction be like if they're like he fake his death, man. I'm still waiting for that.
Always saddening to hear people suffering from terminal illness. I wish for the best for him and his family during this time. Does anyone know of a charity for his illness? I'd like to donate if there is. It should also be mentioned that the community was extra vulnerable to the announcement, as only 5 months earlier in January 2015, another TF2 YouTuber by the name of Kitty0706 had also passed away from cancer, highlighted in comments such as this one reading, "First it's Kitty, now it's this. WTF. I want to cure cancer so I can keep watching these people's videos." However, while most were incredibly supportive, the more cynical and, in retrospect, the wiser amongst those in the comment section seemed a little more skeptical about this illness that he was going on about. We'd have to know the illness first. As the audience was discussing the news with a mixed yet mostly positive response, his health continued to deteriorate, or so he claimed. It was a little suspicious that after the initial announcement stating that he didn't have much longer to live, he continued to upload TF2 videos as if nothing had ever happened. However, each video was pretty short in length and wouldn't have been super labor intensive to produce, so it was certainly possible that he could have continued to make content whilst also being incredibly sick. The other thing that was notably bizarre was that shortly after announcing his illness, it became possible to support SketchX's channel as long as you donated using yen, the Japanese currency. English was clearly his first language spoken in a relatively strong Australian accent, therefore what was the deal with his support currency being in Japanese? Was he living there or something? At this point it was insignificant, but later it would become a vital piece of information. However, equally vital was SketchX's next announcement, being that he had become so sick he was unable to make videos or even play TF2 at all. The announcement would come in a video titled Closure, uploaded 6 months after he'd first enlightened his audience about his terminal illness, this time discussing how much worse it had become.
Welp. This is it, folks. This is how it ends.
He doesn't look. I mean,
I'm very ill.
Not looks.
My health
he doesn't like
is gradually deteriorating.
Sick.
And the clock is ticking, so to speak. I simply cannot afford to spend any more time than I already have maintaining the channel.
Or I can. Or
this is my absolute final video to say goodbye before I stop using this account. So feel free to unsubscribe if you haven't already. There will be no more videos coming from this channel. Farewell.
Yikes.
Following this video, SketchX's social media presence would cease entirely. There were no more uploads to his YouTube channel, no more tweets to his Twitter, and 0 additional hours played on his Team Fortress account. The silence continued for 2 years with absolutely no news, at which point the community would come to the consensus that SketchX's deterioration and subsequent silence must have indicated that he had died. He released a PSA saying he had an almost certainly terminal illness, and that even if he survived, he would not resume making videos. That is to say, he almost certainly passed away. Tribute videos began to pop up on YouTube, such as this one with over 60,000 views, titled Sketchak Wannabe, which began by stating in honor of Sketchak, whilst displaying a TF2 RIP gravestone in the thumbnail. The degree to which Sketchak had impacted the community was cemented even further when, in memory of Sketchak, the developers of Team Fortress 2 would add an attribute called Sketchak's Bequest to one of his signature weapons, immortalizing Sketchak within the game forever.
And they added in like a little memoriam to him, which I thought was really, really nice.
That's
really
that's
At
really
this point,
nice
Sketchak might have felt baffled
nice
that things had gone this far. Alternatively, maybe he was feeling smug about having it gotten away with a crime, so to speak. However, either way, it would be with one Reddit comment in May 2017 that the community began to question whether or not Sketchak was actually dead. If you want a small conspiracy, a lot of Sketchak's items have left his backpack, ending up in another backpack owned by someone named Will, even some minuscule items like refined metal. Some of the names Will has had seem very Sketchak-y, and the account is relatively active, last online just over a day ago. The guy seems to have Sketchak's Napper's Respite in some gift wrap too, so maybe this guy was just a friend of Sketchak's. Hard to say, really. While it was certainly bizarre that items were being traded out of Sketchak's Team Fortress account, it wasn't really a smoking gun that screamed, hey, this dude isn't really dead, as Sketchak might have simply given his password to a friend before quitting, who was now trading the items, considering some time had passed since his apparent death. However, it wasn't only the items on Sketchak's Team Fortress account, indicating that maybe he wasn't dead. Further evidence will come to light in a forum post which read, Sketchak's illness video set to private, which explained that out of the blue, the 2 videos in which Sketchak would discuss his sickness were unlisted from his channel entirely. Previously, it wasn't impossible to theorize that someone else was tampering with his TF2 account. However, when activity was also spotted on his YouTube account, the pattern suggested that maybe Sketchak himself wasn't really buried 6 foot deep, which would be supported further in January 2019, when a video would pop up on YouTube titled with 2 words that would shatter every single past assumption about about what had happened to the legend.
And those
Sketchek confirmed.
Yeah.
In this video, a player can be seen toward the top of the leaderboard by the name of Sketchek with the same profile picture as the original. After being killed by Sketchek, the uploader of the video, Bucci, would find himself involved in a message exchange with his friend reading, "Dude, it's him. Bro, it's him." To which the friend would type, "Okay,
That's
record."
that?
He wouldn't dare. Before Bucci would respond once again with, "I'll try. I'm recording." In light of this video, out of curiosity, players began
That's
to
where
add
he messed
Sketchek's
up.
account on Steam, which
That's
is where
where
things
he
took
really
a little
messed
bit
up,
of
chat.
a bizarre turn. Those who added his Steam account began to receive this cryptic message, which led to a video on Sketchek's channel titled TXT. In the tags of this TXT video, there was a link which led to a now privated video with more cryptic Japanese text, translating to "Mr. Frog only knows frog language." Sketchek would then send more gifts to those who added him on Steam, the next one relating to a Twitter account, once again named in Japanese text translating to "the frog with the banana peel," as displayed in the original Sketchek profile picture. The Twitter account would then post a tweet stating that his audience needed to unfreeze the watermelon, then everything will be understood, which was accompanied by a JPEG image of a frozen thawing watermelon. Users then realized that by pasting the JPEG of the watermelon into WinRAR, that it would create a demo file, leading to a website with nothing but the signature Sketchek frog and an empty text box which required a password. Upon entering the password, a pastebin
is so
link would
confusing
appear,
stuff.
leading to a string of
This is
binary
so
text,
confusing
which
stuff,
when
bro.
decoded would lead to an unlisted video stating that Sketchek was about to return to YouTube. As the Team Fortress community began to
What?
discuss his return, Sketchek would log back into his original Twitter account before making a post reading, "Kept you waiting, huh?" followed by a video on YouTube 2 days later explaining that he was never sick in the first place.
About 3 years ago, I announced that I
Wow.
had contracted a non-specific terminal illness. I want everyone to know that was a lie. It was a sick joke. It was a ruse. I was never ill, not even a little bit.
He'd then
Wow.
go on to explain the motive behind faking
Wow.
his own death.
I was in Japan for an extended period of time. When I was in Japan, I had a really good time, and somewhere along the way, I came to the conclusion that video games had ruined my life. And that was when I decided to shut down the channel. But I also wanted to go out with a bang, I guess you could say. And then I came up with the idea of faking my death because I
Yeah.
knew that would draw a lot of attention.
Before coming to the inevitable
That's
conclusion
not
3.5
good,
years
buddy. That's
later
not a good
that
way.
he wanted to continue making videos on TF2.
A couple weeks ago, I was playing TF2, just thinking about some stuff, and I decided I wanted to come back to the channel and reveal the truth to everyone.
And while this objectively marks Sketchek's return, whether or not it was welcomed with open arms is another question. I feel kind of half and half on this situation. I love Sketchek for what he did for me as a pyro main, but lying about terminal illness isn't cool. Happy
Yeah,
to see him
not
back,
cool,
but
buddy.
honestly a shitty thing to do. Videos were also uploaded to YouTube addressing this ethical problem of, well, he's one of the best in the game and he seems genuinely sorry, but does this excuse him blatantly faking his death for attention?
Yeah.
It's a sick joke, of course, but it's one that he's probably had monetary gain from, even if it's just a few $100s, you know. And still, for me, that just makes the whole thing feel a bit more awkward and uncomfortable for me in terms of like dismissing it as a big old joke.
The more forgiving among Sketchek's
Oh, well.
audience was simply looking forward to some new content and comments such as, "Hey, welcome back and hope you got some sick content ready. Hope all the negativity in this thread won't sour your return." However, others went to the effort of writing full-blown paragraphs about why Sketchek was in the wrong, one of which referencing the weapon within TF2, which had been named as a tribute to the legendary Pyro main. Sketchek's
Yeah, see, look, you got these nice. Look, you're gonna fake your own death, and then you got this like the game you're so good at to make a memorial in the game for you, and then like you're just doing this for attention, buddy. Like, wow, that's wrong to fake illness, buddy. You should never do that. Yo, Laze, buddy, when you say that paragraph, I thought you were being rude, and then you say JK. How am I supposed to know that you're just kidding, buddy? How am I supposed to know that you're just joking? Don't ever make jokes like that because because I was so close to timing you out again. So don't do that again.
bequest, lose all community respect for lying to us all. I hope
Yeah.
they change the extinguisher soon. I'm so disappointed. I can't be angry, but I'm unbelievably disappointed. I'm glad you decided to come clean and you're going to be hated, but it takes guts to admit you're wrong. Still, extremely disappointed. Petitions were also created on the Steam forum such as this one, and subsequently the SketchX bequest attribute was removed silently in the month that followed. In spite of all the hate, SketchX
it got
viewership was
removed.
luckily supported by his skill as a pyro player, as opposed to what you might call his ethical compass, and therefore upon returning, his videos would surprisingly receive as many if not more views as when he disappeared almost 4 years prior. While almost all of these fake social media stunts generally damage the career of whichever influencer
I know
is in
these two
question,
scam.
SketchX somehow managed to do the opposite.
Dang. It's pretty like, it's just so wrong just to fake your own death, chat.